Pez, first off, thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to ask you about joining the Toronto Maple Leafs, but firstly, I got to ask you about the growing Italian contingent here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. With Vinny Lettieri, Mattias Michelli's got some Italian in him, and now you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you can get some good hardworking Italians, it's always a good start. So it's nice to see some fellow countrymen.
Hey, why'd you cut
Mhm.
the flow?
I donated it at the end of not last season, the season before, and just figured grown it out for so long, it went to a good cause, and I raised some money for it. So just kind of happened.
Sounds pretty good, man. Good deal. What this summer's in full swing. You've got some big news here recently. You're a Toronto Maple Leaf. Take us through the emotions that went through you when you found out that news.
Yeah, still gotta pinch myself sometimes. I mean, as a kid growing up, I was a Leafs fan through and through, and just to get that opportunity, it was just so exciting for me. Was just at the practice rink today. Went for a little twirl on the ice and just walking around the even just the practice room and putting that practice sweater on for the first time is just still cool, and I'm just excited for the opportunity. Yeah.
Obviously, you're around fellow teammates, players a lot, and it's interesting you brought up the practice rink because that's brought up a lot around July 1. Is it your sense that players care a lot about like the practice facility and how important that is to sort of the day-to-day grind of the season?
I mean, I guess it's always better if it's a nicer facility. You feel more comfortable and you're able to just focus on hockey. But I can't say that really played a part in what happened. But yeah, it was there today, and it's definitely a nice facility. And it seems like they take really good care of the guys.
It came out that you were a bit of a Leafs fan growing up, which I don't think some people knew, especially seeing you in the Habs jersey. What era did you like? What were some of your favorite players and memories growing up?
Yeah, so for me growing up, Matt Sundin was always my favorite player, and then my brother was a big Gary Roberts fan. So growing up, he always wore number 7, and I always wore number 13. Um, Obviously, I think they're both retired now, so can't slip in any of those. But no, I love watching them play. All my buddies are always fans, and I think they're just as excited as I am. One of my buddies is actually a Habs fan, so he was fired up when I was on the Habs. But now the rest of the boys are like, I can finally cheer for my team, so it's exciting.
It's funny you brought that up because all season long, the number 67 kept popping up here in Toronto. And as you know, the former captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Max Pacioretty, as a Maple Leaf, like, was that even weird to see? Like, you don't see that very often. Of course, there's the whole Josh George's case from, back in the day where he sort of nixed a trade to Toronto. Did that ever cross your mind? Maybe a bit different, obviously, because you were a Leafs fan growing up, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just an opportunity to come home. I feel like I just couldn't turn that down. That was too exciting for me and for my family, and just to be able to work hard and get the opportunity to put that sweater on, I think it'll mean so much to me. So I'm just excited for that. And yeah, when I got that opportunity, it was a no brainer.
Hmm. Hey, I was just curious. Have you talked to Chief yet or not?
I had a little chat with him. I just said welcome to the team and that sort of stuff. Seems like a coach that I'd like to play for. Appreciates guys that play hard, and I'd love to just kind of bring that and bring who I am to the team. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
So, Pez, when we broke down the signing here, you coming to Toronto, I don't know why, but AJ Greer came to mind with the Florida Panthers. We saw it firsthand against the Leafs, man. He really carved out a role for himself on that fourth line. What's your mentality with camp coming up in the next couple months? And is that sort of a type of player that you're looking at sort of producing on a daily basis and being that type of guy here for the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, I definitely think I have the skill to produce and to play hockey, and then obviously I play the game hard. I'm going to finish every check and make the other team's life difficult. I think that's my X factor, but I also have the skill to be able to play and the pace to be able to keep up with today's game. So yeah, I think you see more and more now teams are going a little bit heavier with their fourth line, or you need to be able to play hard to win, and I think that kind of plays right into my style.
Yeah, I think it does. Your style and Chief's style as well. Another guy within the organization who's been around forever. When I was playing, he was playing, and he just doesn't seem to leave. But maybe he takes a step back this year, maybe he doesn't. But the fact is, he's in the organization. You're going to see him in Ryan Reaves. I know you've come around him a lot and had some battles. Is it going to be nice to be part of the same club as him this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know how it is. You battle on the ice, and those tend to be the guys that are the nicest guys off the ice, and definitely have a lot of respect for a guy that's done that job for as long as he has. I think he's played like 900 games or something like that. I think I would love to have any part of that career. So that sounds pretty great. But yeah, definitely just get to learn from him, hopefully, and yeah, get to know him.
When I started working with Rosie a couple years ago, like one of the very first questions I asked him, like, who did you like love watching scrap growing up? Were there some fighters who stood out for you that you sort of wanted to model the way you fought after, like growing up in terms of watching on a daily basis?
Yeah, I can't say I was a young guy watching guys fight and trying to model my fighting style after them. I was still at a point where I thought I could score goals for a living, but no. Later on, I always like watching guys like Lucic fight, Wayne Simmons, just guys like big power forwards that could play the game, but also throw down when they had to. So some of those guys, yeah.
And
Andrew Shaw, I
I
liked
know,
him too.
yeah, some good solid picks right there. But a lot of talk in Leafland, coming up short in certain ways. I think it's no secret that Tree Living's trying to beef the team up a little bit, and they've been missing some things. Sure, they've put up some points in the regular season, had some good seasons, but they're missing that. Are you aware of that? I know you've got your own career going on. You're playing for your own team, but this team's lacked some jam. People have been calling for the older days of Darcy Tucker and Wendell. And of course, it's not going to go back to that level. But are you conscious that a player like you could really make some noise in this market and really get the fans behind you?
Yeah, I think I'm aware of it. I think for myself, I always just try to be me. That's high energy, whether that's in the room or on the ice, and just kind of bring that jam. And I think you see the way Florida winning. Obviously, their fourth line played hard, but I think you have to play hard to be successful in today's game. And for me, I'm just trying to do everything I can to make sure I have a roster spot come the start of the season, and I'm sure the rest of that stuff will just fall into place because they have a great hockey team, and I'm just trying to find a role for sure.
It's no secret that 24, 25 was a bit of a grind for you personally. What are some things you can take away? Because the one thing I did notice, you were ready on a nightly basis when you went in there. You provided jam. You played with intensity and pace. So, what can you take away from this past season in Montreal?
Yeah, I think I just like learned a lot about myself and what it means to be a good teammate. When you're not going in the lineup, it's easy to feel bad for yourself. But at the end of the day, if you do that, you're just gonna dig yourself a bigger hole. So I just kind of showed up to the rink every day with a positive attitude, tried to be a positive presence in the room, whether that was like pushing culture or just being someone that guys wanted to be around. Even if it wasn't so easy to just put a smile on my face at the rink. Sometimes it's just something I had to do, and I think. Looking back at that, the guys appreciated that, and I learned a lot about just being mentally tough and something I can carry on to the rest of my life and the rest of my career.
So, be honest. So, the parents slash family laying down the gauntlet already. How often do they expect you back during the season for dinner, lunch, all that stuff?
Oh yeah, good Italian boy. I was just like looking around at some areas downtown. If I had to move out of the house, and my mom sent me a text yesterday. She's like, just so you know, you can just stay here all season. I'll cook for you, do whatever you need. And I'm like, Ma, I gotta get out of here. But no, it's funny. A good Italian mom. She wants to just take care of me. But yeah, definitely might have to part ways.
Yeah, that's fair. I always get that conversation too. Every time I go home, you got to leave already. I've been there for like 5, 6 hours. You understand it as well. I'm curious as well because I told you off the air. I was born in Montreal. I grew up here in Oakville in Toronto in this area. You're obviously the other way. How would you compare and contrast sort of the Italian contingent there and the Italian contingent here? I feel it's a bit different.
Like between Montreal and Toronto.
Yeah, like there's a strong Italian core there, isn't there?
Yeah, they got a great Italian culture there too. I actually had a bunch of cousins and stuff that lived in Montreal, so
Yeah.
I know when I had was drafted there, they were super excited and spent some time with them while I was in Montreal. And yeah, I think there's a great culture in both places. I live in a little Italian community here. We're centered around our bakery, Rustic Bakery, and yeah, I like that. I think growing up, that was something that meant a lot to me. Getting together, doing sugo and making sausages and stuff like that. I think it's just good culture and something I appreciated growing up.
I'm sure your mom's got great cooking. I say the same about my mom. Do you got a favorite dish that you love to have?
Yeah, probably lasagna. It's my favorite dish, and if you're lucky, sometimes I'll spark one out for the boys. Just kind of have a nice dinner, have everybody over. I've done it over the years in Montreal, and usually like to say it's probably one of the hope it's one of the best I've ever had. But I do cheat. I just use my mom's sauce, but then put it together from scratch. But that's probably the hardest part.
I love that. Mine's tiramisu. That'd be awesome. Team tiramisu. Bring it in for the boys. Pez, can't thank you enough for doing this. Congratulations once again. Welcome home. We look forward to seeing you in the fall. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.